if you're like me, maybe one of the ways that you want to grow most as a Christian, maybe along with prayer, is in evangelism. So, to help in evangelism, I would definitely recommend this little book by Mac Stiles called Evangelism. It's subtitled How the Whole Church Speaks of Jesus. So, one of the ways that Mac tries to show from Scripture that God designs for his good news to spread is not just through kind of separate programs or individuals, but through the life of the church. So that the elders want to grow as a group and as a church in evangelism, and so we're reading this book together on evangelism. And when we have elders meetings, we're talking about this book. So if you want to read along with the elders, you can read this book. One of the most interesting things from this book that I think would commend it to you is the foreword, which is actually written by David Platt. He talks about meeting Mac Stiles, and Mac is originally from the United States, but he spent several years in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, planting a church there among an extraordinarily international community. And then he recently spent several years in Iran helping to plant a church there. He's back in the States now helping to take care of his parents. But in the foreword, David Platt talks about going to Dubai and that international church there and meeting people in the church where Mac Stiles was serving as a pastor. And he talks about meeting a former Muslim named Abdul, who met Mac and how Mac led Abdul to the Lord. And then he met a man named Rajesh, who had been a Hindu and who Mac had led to the Lord. And then he met a man named Matthew. And David Platt says, let me guess, Matthew, Mac led you to the Lord. And he said, no, Abdul and Rajesh did. And then Matthew introduced David to another man that he was sharing Christ with. So it's a cool story because it shows how evangelism is not just about a person, right, who's uniquely gifted. It's not just about Mac and what he knows, but it's about how these other people that Mac led to the Lord then turned around and were leading other people to the Lord. So evangelism in churches can and ought to be biblically the whole body sharing Christ with others. So this little book's very helpful in that way. If you'd like a free copy, just let me know and I will mail it to you. And I would encourage you to read it and talk about it with somebody else. Talk about it with the elders. Let us know what you think.